Hola a todos y bienvenidos, continuamos con Disco Elysium. Pues entonces, a ver qué nos cuenta el amigo de los domingos. Uy, cuántas cosas. Madre mía. Una revista de negocios trimestral. Una foto vieja en este mismo apartamento fechada en el año 01. Bata de seda vestida. What? Bata de seda vestida de dragón. Ay, 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 pero vamos. Pero si estás ideal de la muerte. A ver. Me parto. Mira, 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 mira. Oh, oh, oh. Por favor, quítatela ya. Madre mía. Vístete. Me da más uno de teatralidad y más uno de electroquímica. Soy un adicto con una extraña bata de baño. Ay, madre mía. Y los guantes. Me los debí cambiar en algún momento y no me acuerdo de volver a ponerlos. Bueno, bueno, bueno. Ideal, ¿eh? Ideal. A ver qué más hay aquí. Yo entro, cojo... me cojo todo lo que encuentro. A ver. Gorro cónico samarense. Samarense, perdón. Más uno lógico, menos una... a manipulación. Y este me da más una enciclopedia. A ver cómo es puesto. Buenísimo. Buenísimo. De momento me quedo con este. ¿Qué más hay aquí? Una exquisita cama con un dosel de metal. A ver, ¿qué más? ¿Puedo pasar aquí sin que le importe? Estupendo. Pues nada, yo me sirvo. Panfletos de fiestas clandestinas. Platos empapados en una olla. Un cenicero vacío. Y este señor le parece bien que ande por aquí mirando todo. Cubos de pintura sobre una capa de periódicos viejos. Aquí sale la puerta. Todos debemos aportar nuestro granito de responsabilidad. Guardar. ¿Qué tengo aquí? Vale. Me recorro Revachol por asuntos gubernamentales. Ok, pues a ver qué me cuentas, señor.
Officers of the Revachol Citizens Militia.
El hombre vestido con ropa informal pero apropiada para entablar negocios se quita los gemelos.
My name is Charles Vildrouin, and I am an official with the coalition government. I work for the Institute of Price Stabilité on assignment from Sur-la-Clé. I heard you talking to my friend outside. Very good. Super. I am here to assist you in any way possible. Ask me about the hanging.
No, first
Okay.
ask an innocuous personal question to get the interview off on the right foot.
Antes de proceder, dime, ¿de dónde has sacado esta hermosa bata de seda?
Oh, we got it from an atelier in the East Delta Commerce Center. Personally, I think it's a little culturally insensitive, but the material is great. Sadly, the shop is now out of business. That's really all I can tell you about it.
Forma un pequeño tejado con sus dedos, entra el aire frío por el balcón.
The lieutenant takes out his notebook and nods to you to proceed.
¿Qué hace un funcionario como tú en un sitio como este?
The coalition is only looking out for the price stability. Inflation is a killer, like a heart disease blocking the normal circulation of the economy. It must be controlled. The economy impacts the entire international community, which is why it requires international oversight.
Vale, pero ¿qué haces aquí, en este apartamento?
Ah, well, I'm renovating it. It is an interesting project. The building used to be a 12-story skyscraper before the cannons took the top 4 stories off. This, of course, happened when the coalition forces landed here. You could say I'm undoing some of the material damage the international community caused when we arrived here.
¿Entonces eres un burócrata?
Yes, as I said before, I am a commissioner from Sur-la-Clé working for the Institute of Price Stabilité. This is one of the main projects of the Moral Inter.
Wait, there isn't actually an Institute of Price Stability, is there? Or maybe there is. God, it's impossible to understand whether someone from the moral intern is joking or not.
¿Qué es la comunidad internacional de la que hablas?
La communauté internationale is what Revacholians colloquially call the coalition. In other words, the nations that stopped the disaster of the revolution.
¿Y quién es la coalición para mí?
Your employer, technically speaking. The governing authority of Revachol. The RCM is but one part of this provisional administration.
Ok. ¿Qué es la estabilización de precios?
It is the most important thing.
Eso no me dice nada.
It's the central goal of any sound monetary policy. Maintaining the price stability is essential to maintaining high levels of economic activity, which is essential for maintaining high levels of employment, which is essential for maintaining the social stability.
Basically, it makes sure the price of bread doesn't change.
Précisément. Too much inflation, bread becomes too expensive. Too much deflation, it becomes too cheap for bakers to produce. That's why the Institute of Price Stability works to keep inflation just below 2%.
¿Por debajo del 2% de qué?
But not too far below, no. Too below is also bad. Below, but close to 2%.
No me has respondido a la pregunta.
The coalition believes in the importance of informing the public about the benefits of the price stability. Transparency is one of our principles. Would you like an informational pamphlet?
Ah, claro, ¿por qué no? Dame uno.
A sound monetary policy is essential for addressing uncertainty. Stability is the raison d'être of the moral intern. It's the reason why I identify as a moralist. But oh, I don't have my leaflets on me today. That's too bad. You can always call our information line. Making information available is part of the moral intern's commitment to transparency.
Ya he oído hablar de la moral intern, pero quiero saber más.
It's the International Organization for Moralists, hence Moralist International. The Institute of Price Stability is just one of its many mind babies, as is the coalition.
Oh, así que en realidad trabajamos para la moral intern. No suena mal.
There are more nefarious powers to work for than the moral intern.
Volverte hacia el amigo de los domingos. ¿Eres moralista?
But of course,
¿Pero por qué?
because moralists believe in a normal, stable world governed by democratic values.
Teniente, ¿eres moralista?
Me? I'm a lieutenant of the RCM, dedicated to maintaining law and order in the
Uy,
country.
cómo es que guay la pregunta, ¿eh?
A very moralist answer.
The lieutenant is practiced in the art of putting on a show for one's superiors.
Ah, pero ¿qué es un mundo normal y estable?
The Occident is part of the normal world. Oranje, sur la clé.
A mí Martínez no me parece ni muy normal ni estable.
Martinez? No. Martinez is something else.
¿Qué me dices del resto de Revachol? ¿Es parte del mundo normal?
Revachol is generally difficult. It's led by an interim government, which means it hasn't yet achieved full democracy. But they are working towards it. You're all doing very well here, relatively speaking.
Si cada vez que hablo con la gente elijo la opción D, ninguna de las anteriores, ¿eso es moralismo?
Is this option D usually the most reasonable answer?
Ah. Sí, todo lo demás es súper extremo. Es como si viviera rodeado de lunáticos.
Sounds like you're a moralist indeed, my friend. Welcome. Moralism is all about compromise and achieving the achievable. It's pragmatic, realistic, and level-headed, an ideology for doers. Are you a doer, my friend? It looks to me like you are. Now, enough of this delightful political interlude. Was there anything else you wanted to ask?
Háblame de Sur la Clé.
What's there to say? Sur-la-Clé is a modern, urbanized country that measures very high on the Human Development and Freedom Index. Mostly, though, it's known as the executive heart of EPIS. Moreover, it is a great sponsor of less emerged countries. Revachol is only one of its many darlings whose progress it supports and cherishes.
Darlings? That can't be an official designation.
¿Qué convierte a Revachol en la querida de Sur la Clé?
Because a great percentage of Revachol's culture hails from Sur-la-Clé. Its language, its people, its cuisine even. Or at least in the downtown La Delta area.
Ok, háblame de Orange.
Oranje is an exemplary
Oranje.
nation who, as a core member of EPIS, contributes 28% of our annual budget. Next to Sur-la-Clé, Oranje is probably the most prominent member of the international community.
¿Cuál de ellos es más epis?
As founding members, they are both very EPIS. Oranje carries a lot of political weight, while Sur-la-Clé takes care of the business side of things. Sur-la-Clé hosts the headquarters of the major EPIS institutions.
Vale, pero fuera del epis, ¿qué es Orange?
Oranje's economy is one of the most advanced in the world. It has successfully transitioned from heavy industry to advanced services and generally acts as an engine for sustainable change in the international community.
But that didn't tell you anything about Oranje.
¿No podrías hablar como una persona normal?
About what?
Sobre Orange, dime qué clase de estado es.
Oh, it's very urban and very well organized. Their streets are clean, their horse cars run on time, the people are polite and efficient. Like I said, they are an example for less emerged nations to follow.
Ok, basta de negocios, hablemos de otra cosa.
Whatever you wish, officer.
¿Qué puedes contarme de tu amigo?
Ah, my friend. My friend is a good young man. His family immigrated here from Kedra, and life has not been easy for him. But he understands the importance of education. He has taken his future into his own hands, and that's all that matters.
¿Kedra? ¿Qué es eso?
Kedra is a candidate member of APIS. But, between you and me, their potential membership is a more contentious issue.
¿Qué quieres decir?
That it's never going to happen. They entered negotiations in 21, and it's been pending ever since.
¿Qué es eso del epis que tanto mencionas?
EPIS is a very special program developed by the Moral Intern to support certain Occidental nations. It began as a unified system of weights and measures, which proved to be a wild success. Nothing but kilograms and centimeters as far as the eye can see.
God, yes. Sweet standardization. The backbone of rationality and commerce.
It was such a wild success that we expanded it into an economic union for the processing of steel. Another success. And between you and me, the Moral Intern feels emboldened by this success. Emboldened to take EPIS to the next level.
Vale, pero ¿qué significa?
Why, it stands for progress and stability, like the Moral Intern as a whole.
No, ¿qué significan las letras?
It's been such a wild, extraordinary success thus far. We are very excited to take it to the next level.
Ni te molestas en escuchar mis palabras, ¿verdad?
A supranational political alliance. The United States of Occident.
¿Va a ser como este lugar?
You mean Revachol? No, it's going to have transparent democracy.
¿Revachol pasará a ser del epis?
It's one day going to be a candidate member of EPIS, sure.
Except that candidate members never become full members, do they?
¿Acaso no has dicho que los miembros candidatos nunca se convierten en miembros de pleno derecho?
No, candidate members do become members. Why do we even have the whole system in place if they don't? It just takes time. Time and evaluation. But we were talking about my friend here, not politics.
¿Cómo se hicisteis amigos?
How did any of us become friends? Bad things happening on the insular Isola? Oil platforms ablaze in the night? Civil wars lasting for years? Finally, the international community is forced to step in.
¿Qué me estás contando? Nadie entabla amistad de esa manera.
Au contraire. It's how millions of people end up where they are. Meeting the people they meet. It's how I came here. And my friend, too.
Qué fuerte. Tiene una forma de eludir las preguntas de tal manera que habla un montón sin decir nada. Todavía no me has dicho quién es.
Sorry. Who?
El hombre echa un vistazo hacia el suelo. Tu amigo, el fumador del balcón. Estábamos hablando de él.
But I told you, officer. He's a bright young man here to pursue his education. Education is the foundation of our future, especially the arts. It is a cornerstone of our civilization.
Vale, pero ¿cuál es su verdadero nombre?
Officer, you have to understand. I can't give you his personal information. I'm sure you have your own methods and databases, right? Please don't put me in this situation.
Así que todo cuanto puedes decirme es que él está aquí para estudiar artes.
He's deeply enmeshed in the study of the fine arts, yes.
¿Qué artes?
He's a truly free spirit. He likes all the arts. Perhaps graphic design, printmaking, who knows? The world is open wide for a talented youth like him.
¿Y qué haces tú solo en este apartamento?
I'm just enjoying the view.
Ajá. Claro. ¿Qué vista? Si no se ve un pijo.
Listen,
¿Qué? No escucho nada.
the Insulindian Bay.
¿Qué le pasa?
This place used to be a luxury accommodation before the revolution. Apartments, of course, were much bigger then. A few walls have been added here and there, leaving some of the tenants without a private bathroom or a kitchen. But the million real view stays. You can't take that away.
Golpea la puerta del balcón con los nudillos. Con gentileza, su rostro se refleja en el cristal oscuro. Estábamos hablando de tu amigo.
My friend comes and goes. I'm sure you'll see him around. He's a busy bee.
A busy bee? What an odd choice of words.
Me gustaría preguntar otra cosa.
I'm all ears, officer.
¿Es verdad que presenciaste el linchamiento?
I'm sorry to say I did, officer.
Desde el principio, si no te importa.
Officer, it's very difficult to describe what I saw that night. It was so surreal to me, like in a play.
He holds out his hands and blossoms his fingers, like a drama teacher setting the scene.
What do you mean, like in a play?
It was just so strange. I could barely comprehend what was happening. I was on the balcony when it happened, getting some fresh air. I remember that first they came in, carrying what looked like a body. And then I saw all the surrounding windows go dead, one by one. That's when I understood. I should not be seeing this.
Sounds like the victim was unconscious, or at least incapacitated. Well done, detective.
¿Quiénes llegaron? ¿Puede describirlos?
I couldn't see their faces well, and there were quite a few of them. But they were very loud and very Martinez. Let's just say that the laboring classes can get rather expressive with their profanities.
¿Cuántos eran?
I couldn't tell you exactly. Less than 10. Maybe 8?
The lieutenant sends you a sharp look at the mention of that number.
¿Alguno de ellos era grandote? ¿Como si pesase 200 kilos?
That's a giant you're describing. No, they were all quite human, as far as I could tell.
¿Alguno de ellos tenía pinta de baterista?
Drummers? Why, no. But then, I don't know what a drummer is supposed to look like.
I think we can drop the drummer angle. That was my bad.
That's a giant you're describing. No,
¿Qué pasa
I
luego?
went back inside.
Were you able to see anything from inside?
Officer, the yard was pitch black. There was nothing to see, but I could still hear their voices. They were threatening to kill that poor man.
¿Eran hombres, mujeres?
All men, I presume. But again, I couldn't see very clearly.
¿Etnia?
I believe they were mostly white, though I believe I saw 2 Areopagites among them. And I am quite certain that one spoke with a Mesk accent.
¿Qué pasó después?
Well, that's the strangest part, officer. Nothing happened. It was oddly quiet for a public lynching.
¿Que no pasó nada? Lincharon a un tío.
Eventually, their shouts died down, and that was all. There were no gunshots, no celebratory shouts, no anything.
¿Por qué no llamaste a la MCR?
You're right, of course. That is what one is supposed to do in such circumstances. I was simply in shock. I'm afraid I don't have anything else to add.
About what time was all this happening, approximately?
All I can say is that it was late.
¿No miraste el reloj?
My watch. Yes, now I remember. It was 30 minutes past midnight, give or take.
Dejemos las cosas claras. No presenciaste el momento exacto del ahorcamiento, ¿no?
No, I didn't see the corpse until the following day.
Eso sería todo. Gracias por tu tiempo.
Of course, anything I can do to assist the RCM.
Gracias, tengo todo lo que necesito.
A moment, officer. Do you have everything you need from me? I'm afraid we won't have the chance to speak again once you leave.
¿Y eso? ¿Por qué no podremos hablar más adelante?
It's against diplomatic best practices for an official in my position to be discussing murders with local militiamen. And I'm pressed for time. After you leave, I should be leaving as well.
That's not the real reason he's so apprehensive. Men in his position shouldn't be seen loitering around in underprivileged young men's apartments in the middle of the night.
No me tiene en ninguna parte. Quiero examinar el apartamento.
Sure, go ahead. It's a beautiful space. Let me know if you have any further questions.
Bueno, realmente ya lo habíamos visto todo, pero... No sé, ¿es para que no se vaya? Aunque si salgo de aquí me imagino que seguirá, claro. No puedo ver nada así de lo que me encontré por aquí, ¿no? Nada, estaba la ropa. Espera, me voy a poner esto. Nada, no me sale nada. Ok.
Yes?
Nada nuevo. Uy, se ha subido. Tengo ahí 4 puntos. Madre mía, tengo que empezar a gastarlos. ¿Ya me sale como completada? Sí, interrogarle al amigo de los domingos. Entonces, entiendo que aquí ya no tenemos nada más que hacer.
Was there anything else? I'm sorry to say I did, officer. Because I did it? Officer, it's very...
He holds
What do you mean?
It was just... I was on the bus. That's when I...
Sounds like the victim was unconscious.
Let's just say that the labor...
the lieutenant sends you a shot.
I went back inside.
Were you...
Officer, they are all men, I presume. But, well, that eventually their shouts died down. You're right, I'm afraid. All I can say is... No, I didn't see the corpse until the following day. Of course. Anything... Of course.
Pues nada, ya tenemos todo. Nos piramos de aquí. Hasta luego, señor de los domingos. Vale. Pues... Mira, eso ahora que tengo tantos puntos, voy a ver si tengo... Es una retórica, es una reacción, no es simpatía. Vamos a desbloquear una. Vamos a interiorizar esta. Vamos a desbloquear esta también. Venga, va. Ok, pues nada. Uy, está nevando. Qué frío, ¿no? Ahora realmente lo que necesitaba hacer era coger de una vez la chaqueta y saltar. Necesitaría saltar por ahí. Pero no sé si voy a ser capaz. Ya lo he intentado 2 veces y las 2 he fallado. Qué triste. Y bueno, yo creo que ya podemos acabar el día. Que mañana tenemos también más cosas que hacer. Yo creo que viene lo más interesante. Vale. Esto ya está cerrado. Ya es de noche. Mola, que van cambiando las cosas según pasan las horas. Entramos aquí. A todo esto tengo el dinero para pagar la habitación hoy. Y me fijé ya, la verdad. Sí, vale, perfecto. Perfecto. Por aquí no hay nada. A ver qué nos dice la señora.
Oh, hello, dear.
You know,
Of course, officers. Is there a particular cryptid you two are interested in learning about?
¿Hay algún crítico invisible?
hey, you promised you'd only ask about one cryptid.
Bien, otra cosa,
He nods,
mariposa.
approving.
¿La cocina hay algo por aquí? ¿No? ¿Una propinita que pueda llevarme al bolsillo? ¿No? La puerta
You see
esta.
a heavy steel door. The door does not. The cobalt blue.
No tengo nada, ¿verdad? Porque si me pongo esto no hago nada. Y con esto supongo que tampoco.
You see a heavy. The cobalt.
Nada. Pues nada. ¿Que no? Va a ser que no. Es un misterio todavía sin resolver. Están estos por... Uy, espera, que había aquí algo que me ponía que no era el momento o que no era la hora.
Again, you find yourself looking
Miré
at
por la
that
ventana.
big old
Aún no
window.
es la hora. A lo mejor es por la mañana por donde cuando tengo que mirar. No sé. O será, no sé, medianoche. Tengo que contarle la canción también para cantar, si es que me quedan un montón de cosas todavía.
Can I help you?
En cuanto a mi factura de esta noche,
Got the 20 real?
20 real, joder, ya le llega. Venga, hombre, es tarde. ¿En serio te tengo que pagar otra vez?
The breath catches in his chest. The light in his eyes.
Do you have money tonight?
Lo tengo, sí.
Then you really don't need a free room, do you?
Saco de la cabeza, entonces se detiene a la par que una luz nueva, extraña y cruel reaviva su rostro.
Here comes a layup, sire. Fall not for it.
But you know what? You're in luck, because you don't have to ever pay me again.
Espera, ¿en serio?
Really?
¿De verdad de la buena?
Uh-huh.
¿Lo dices en serio?
Perfectly serious. You don't have to pay me anything. You don't have to give me any money at all. If you want a room, yes, you'll need to pay me, but you don't have to just give me money. Giving me money for a room is your choice.
No es cosa mía, no tengo a dónde ir.
You want a free place to sleep? Fine. You've already unlocked your new room. The trash container outside is ready and waiting.
The lieutenant, this was your responsibility. I cannot help you now. A new dimension of reality will open. A portal is this bed of waste. Sleep there and awaken elsewhere.
¿Qué quieres decir?
It is not clear. All that is known is sleep in the trash and there is no coming back.
Espera, ¿qué esperas que duerma en un contenedor de basura de ahí fuera?
I don't care what you do. Sleep in the trash or pay for a room. I don't care anymore.
Vale, ten 20 reales para esta noche.
That wasn't so hard, was it? The room is yours for the night. Don't forget, you'll need another 20 real tomorrow.
Sí, mañana es posible que tenga que dormir en el contenedor. Madre mía. ¿Algo nuevo por aquí? Creo que no. True, ¿me dices algo tú?
Yes? What
hablar
about
de ti?
me? Good. Let's change. What do you want to know? You mean like a brief? 3 days ago, the RCM emergencies desk. During
no,
that
no.
time, The victim had been stripped of his belongings. The caller did not identify him. They didn't identify themselves. There's a strong prejudice against involving the RCM in what's seen as Just to be clear, we are police officers. It's our job to find the killer. No, it's not.
The lieutenant adjusts.
Good.
Vale, nada nuevo. Pues nada, a dormir. Hasta mañana, Kim. Chao, chao.
A mirror hangs on the bathroom wall.
Qué
In
cara.
it, your face, adorned with the expression.
Esta va a estar complicada, pero bueno, es blanca. Si la fallo, pues ya la volveré a probar. Ahondar en lo más profundo de tu mente y rastrear la fuente de la expresión.
It belongs in the new, the third decade of the current century. Enough time had passed from the failure of the revolution that, for a fleeting moment, free market economy seemed like the ultimate, uncontested way of life for our species.
Vale.
Things were good. It was smooth sailing. People made gold and champagne-tinted interiors and facades to suit the times, calling this the new style. But more importantly, disco happened. For Revachol, your city, that meant only one thing. Guillaume le Million. If it doesn't rhyme, you're not pronouncing it right.
Ok.
Out of the dazzling swirl of disco music, in an open-air boîte de nuit somewhere in Revachol West, Guillaume's blonde mane appeared on the screen. He sang some bullshit. Then he made the expression.
Siento la necesidad de acompañarla de un chasqueo de lengua al hacerla.
The click is used to spur on a horse. It also features heavily in Guillaume le Million's regional mega hit, Don't Worry, Your Pretty Little Head. Sometimes you like to add finger pistols to the mix, because, unlike Guillaume le Million, you are a police officer.
Claro, claro.
It's your nifty little way to say, I'm armed and dangerous.
¿Hace cuánto tuvo lugar la nueva?
There is a vast ocean of time between right now and the expression. Looking good on you, or anyone. 2 decades, if the calendar is to be trusted. Humanity has run aground in that time. It's a different world now. The expression is a relic.
Así que la adopté. ¿Por qué?
Everyone loved it. Maybe you thought some of the stardust would rub off on you. Maybe it did. Either way, it's all gone now. Only the grimace remains.
¿Algo más? Como quién soy, por qué me hice policía o por qué bebí hasta perder toda la conciencia.
You have some understanding of the near history of disco, plus the trivia you've picked up along the way. Episodic memory, however, remains in the dark. It may never return. You should prepare yourself for that.
Supongo que esto es todo.
It doesn't have to be. You can swoon over Guillaume and his champagne-corked smile whenever you want to. Maybe some of the stardust will return.
Dejar el espejo por ahora. A ver. Guillaume le Millon. Con la cabeza en las nubes. Sí. Venga, vamos a interiorizarla. Ok. Tenemos un montón de cosas ahí. Voy a tener que también gastar puntos para después quitar... Uy, vamos a cerrar la puerta. Ah, sí, que no me vean. Eso es. Privacidad ante todo. Vale, pues... podríamos dar una vuelta sin Kim por ahí, pero tampoco tengo así nada en concreto que quiera hacer. Que me acuerde, al menos. Tengo un montón de tareas pendientes. Mira, esto lo puedo ver mañana. Y lo de la excusa también. Así que yo creo que sí, vamos a terminar aquí el día y mañana ya refrescamos.
The bed is still cold from the broken window, and not too inviting, but it's yours. You've earned it.
Irte a dormir.
The bed is still cold from the wind blowing in from the broken window. The mattress creaks as you close your eyes and try your hardest to fall asleep.
Oops.
Here we are again, my broken bud. The waves are coming, carrying you away. But you can't go. No, you have to stay. Always half aware of yourself. You're not cooperating, brother man.
¿Por qué?
It's your disgusting body.
Ok.
Even through your sleep, you feel a vague discomfort suffusing it. Your belly and your sides are unpleasantly tender. You wish you could curl up into a fetal ball of safety. But you cannot, because of the pain.
Every cell in your body is moaning in agony, asking, what did we ever do to you?
Lo siento, célula, soy yo, es culpa mía.
Now, you're finally thinking about something other than yourself. Let's see how far that'll get you.
Creo que necesito atención médica.
Oh, yes. That'll check you out. Give you some pills. Make it all okay. The Wonder Makers.
Don't be stupid, Harry. It's not happening. They don't make new kidneys and livers in hospital. All you've got to do is pray to God it passes and stare at the flickering darkness.
You're just stuck here, in the half-world. Could try looking at other people, really looking. But why would you want to start doing that?
Lo haré, miraré a las personas todo el rato, me gustan.
Sure you do. They're all so friendly, aren't they?
Some of them are. Some of them are nice. Others are scared. At least they're interesting. Each one has a process just like yours, running in the space between their ears, full of secrets.
What do you think you're doing right now? Coming to some greater awareness? Look at all these lights, blinking in and out of existence. Thoughts! You're just pretending that you're asleep, even to yourself, while the world goes on without you.
Let it. Let it.
But it never seems to let you go, does it? Time to rise and wipe that shining sweat off as best you can. Gather your bearings. Rock and roll.
Bueno, hemos superado otro día. Venga, tío, tú puedes. Levántate. Está hecho mierda, Madre mía. Pero este va a aguantar más días. No sé yo, Yo, como no resolvamos esto pronto, este cualquier día se queda ahí, en el sitio. Madre mía, 7:30. Bueno, es madrugador al menos. Aquí no podemos hacer nada. Aquí me estará abajo seguramente. ¿Y estos? Buenos días. Hola Kim, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo has dormido, tío? ¿Quiénes son estos? Llevan el rectangulito este aquí en la espalda deben ser de la MCR también. Ah. Bueno, yo creo que lo vamos a dejar aquí por hoy. En el próximo capítulo vamos a hablar con estos dos a ver quiénes son. Porque como os digo, estos tienen que ser de la MCR. Mira el... No sé cómo llamarle, el rectangulito este. Que es como el que llevamos nosotros en las chaquetas. ¿Ves? Como el que lleva Kim. Curioso. Bueno, lo dicho, aquí lo dejamos por hoy. En el próximo capítulo seguiremos avanzando. Que yo creo que en este día ya desbloqueamos varias cosas. A ver si conseguimos ya por fin bajar también el cuerpo del árbol. Que sería ya interesante de una vez. Así que... Como siempre os digo... Si os está gustando esta serie, por favor dejad un like al vídeo, no olvidéis suscribiros, activar la campanita para que os avise cuando subamos nuevos episodios y nos vemos muy pronto en el próximo. Muchas gracias.